Did somebody say special delivery from Slovakia? We better open this bad boy up and see what essentials are inside, right? Hello YouTube, N60 Fortress here, I'm back. Thanks for tuning in again as always, it's very much appreciated. Got quite a few things to go through on this video. We are going to stay bunkered down here in the game room, but got a few things to talk through, so it should be interesting all the same. We've got the Brian Lara giveaway, Sega Mega Drive from last week's vlog. We have got some pickups to go through. We've made some essential progress on this journey. Just to start with, going on from last week's vlog, we bought the FIFA 17 case on the PS4 to sort of give a new case for that Until Dawn PS4 hits that got absolutely trashed in the post. Well, I said I was going to chop it into CEX. Well, actually, I put it on Vinted for £6 and it sold pretty much immediately. Shows that the PS4 hits market is pretty much popping as well right now. And the reason I did that is cash is king. I wanted cash over voucher really, because it's a lot harder for me to find what I'm looking for in a CEX now. So cash is definitely the more desirable, and I hit the sweet spot with the price. I was happy with £6 plus Vinted fees and postage, which ends up being about £9 something for the buyer, slightly less than the £10 they'd have to pay CEX for a copy. I basically get the voucher's worth of value in cash, so that's optimal for me, and that's a £5.50 profit, because obviously I got a full refund from eBay because it got trashed in the post, and so I paid 50p for a case. That's £5.50 profit, which will be netted off on my sheet against something else that has cost me a lot of money, and will bring the cost of that down on a net basis. So first things first, I'll take you off the tripod and let's have a look at this spreadsheet then. I just want to walk you through that. Right then, if you can see some gaps there, don't worry about those. They will be filled in on this episode. As usual, if you're new to the channel or a returning viewer and you're not already subscribed, please consider doing so. It really helps me out. We're on a great growth pattern, 904 subscribers, so we're aiming for 1,000 now. Really appreciate all the support and the love that you guys have shown me. I wouldn't be here without you guys and wouldn't be as motivated if it wasn't for you. So really appreciate those who watch and who have been coming along for the journey with me. So yeah, looking at the spreadsheet then, let's just have a quick look at this. It's a very simple one. The hard yards was already done in terms of a list being put together. I've just retyped my own version of it out, and we've got all known PAL PS3 essentials on this list, 219 I believe. And it's quite simple really. Just got the title in alphabetized order, whether I own it, yes, or blank if I don't. If it's complete, i.e. correct disc and manual. The language, now Ace Combat is not known to have an English copy to the best of my knowledge, so it says German and it's greened off, whereas other German games or foreign games I've got that I know English versions did release, e.g. Battlefield 4, they're highlighted orange. That means it's an issue for me to address at some point down the line. Hopefully that one will be sorted sooner than not, because I'm onto a lead. Cost, this should actually be net cost, because, well, with my N64 spreadsheet, I had what it cost me and what it owes me. So if I'd made profit somewhere down the line, i.e. buying and selling, or selling my old copy for more than what it cost me, that could be taken off. The profit could be taken off the new one or the upgrade, and therefore your net cost is lower. So I'd have a column to say what it cost me and what it owes me. This time around I'm just doing net cost. I'm not really bothered about what I've paid for things. It's all about what it owes me, and that's the only reference point in the future that's going to be the important one, in terms of if you ever want to sell, you just don't ideally want to be selling at a loss, do you? So you just, as long as you know what it owes you, that's the main thing. And so like I said, it's highlighted orange where they're foreign, that I know English versions exist. But this is the exciting news. We're actually a lot better off than I thought. So if we just highlight blanks, we are actually only 28 games off the full known PAL PS3 Essentials library. Now some of those the wheels are in motion on, so in principle it is lower than that, but no further spoilers than that. So the finish line is in sight, but there's a lot of hard work yet to do and some tricky titles still left. So the journey's still going to be interesting from here on in. There's still a lot of work to do. Now if I filter by languages, and well, if I select all and just deselect English, it's probably a better way to do it. And get rid of blanks as well. We are in a position here where these are all the foreign games, and obviously if they're green, as far as I know, English versions don't exist, so they're all good. So if we count how many we've got here, we've got 31 where I need to get English versions of, if they exist. I've highlighted ones that don't. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that already can be reduced to 24. So there's 24 that I need to get with in English, if they exist. But that could be lower still. I just haven't done enough research yet just to confirm. So yeah, hopefully it's a bit lower than that. And in principle, some of them have already been purchased and they're with my mate in Belgium. So when they make their way to me, for example, Prince of Persia, then I'll be able to highlight that green and I can sell my foreign copy, and this list will gradually come down. So as you can see, combined with what I still need to get that I don't own at all, and what I need to get in English where they do exist, we've still got a lot of work to do on this journey. So it might look like they're well on our way, which we are, but as far as I'm concerned, and my journey on this journey to a full PAL English where possible essential set, there is a lot of work to do. So yeah, next up I think we better pick the winner of this Brian Lara cricket. So I'll just set up a random generator and we'll pick the winner for this then. Right, that's everyone entered at the point of filming. So let's just go for this then, shall we? Oh, Mr. AP Wells, you just missed out. Right, congratulations, Michael Wheeler 3626. Either drop me a comment on here or message me on Instagram. I'm pretty sure I've spoken to you before. I'm sure you bought something off me. So yeah, just drop me a message, mate, and we can sort out your Brian Lara Cricket Sega Mega Drive prize. Well done, mate. And to everyone else, there is going to be a much bigger giveaway when we, or if we, I say when because I'm confident, I believe in myself, and that's a theme that I'm going to be going on to in a minute, of this channel. When we get to 1,000 subs, or if we do, there's going to be a big giveaway, and there's going to be an opportunity for people to win some things that I'm happy to part with, and just to say thank you really for coming along with me on this journey, and just say thanks to all of you lovely subscribers. So yeah, well done, Michael. Drop me a message, mate, and we can sort that. Right, next up I'm going to be going to CEX to chop this lot in. That's going to be at the start of next week's vlog, and we'll kickstart next week's vlog off with a CEX hunt. So we've got the Mega Drive game. Bit annoyed on this one because they charge 15, but it only trades in for about 5 or 6. Like, there's a huge spread on what they give you voucher and what they sell it for, but I just want to get it gone really, and I can't bother to try and sell it privately. We'll just get that gone. Resident Evil 7, obviously I've got this in the hits. I put the disc in my hits copy, which was my original, and I'm just happy to let my case that I had back in the day go, but at least I got my disc because it was better condition. Evil Within, yeah. Need for Speed Most Wanted, that gets about another £1 back, so happy days. I'd already covered off the cost of the manual, like I said, with selling that Until Dawn. LA Noire, I make sure I took the case off that and put it on a spare that I've got, so I've got a nice spare case if need be. Batman, again, it's got a Blu-ray case or incorrect case, and not only that, it's got the wrong disc, so to sell that privately is going to be hard work really, so it's just easier to trade it in. And then the 2 Dreamcast games that have survived, not survived the culling, I'm just happy to take voucher. I think it totals about 19 in total, so not the most, but it'll be a welcome bit of voucher that I can put towards, you know, a PS5 game, or the rare chance that I come across another hits game or essentials game that I need or plan to flip, but it's probably unlikely, so it'll just go a voucher towards a nice PS5 game or something like that, so that's happy days. Right then, just before I put you back on the tripod and go through my pickups, and there's some good ones by the way, I'm just going to go to the garage and lift some weights, and I just want to give you some words of advice and just a chance to quickly get to know me a little bit better in that short spell that I'm doing that, and just to get to know me better on a level as a content creator and who I am really, because I'm not somebody who just collects video games and plays games. More to me than that, as you'd probably expect. And just to say that the reason why I believe that I can get this full set is because I believe in myself, I believe in my ability to hunt things down. I always have an optimistic view on anything that I do, and if you believe in yourself, you're already halfway there on your journey to wherever you're going, really. It's a massive, massive step to have self-belief. Now, earlier this year, I was quite into my weightlifting. I look back at previous videos and I was in pretty good shape. That kind of dropped off a little bit. And the reason for that is I set myself the target of doing a sub 1 hour 30 half marathon. And I'm delighted to say that I managed to achieve that, coming in at around 1 hour 28 minutes and 30 odd seconds. So smashed that sub 1 hour 30 target, which previously seemed like something I'd never ever be able to do. Only fast people could do that. Normal people like me wouldn't be able to do it. But with a lot of hard work and lots of running, I managed to acclimatise myself and get myself fit enough to be able to do that. And it was something I always believed that I could do. So if there's a message that I could give you, it's just believe in yourself. And if there's something you want to do, just give it a shot, because you never know. And I honestly wouldn't have believed that I could have been capable of that until I just got my head down, got in the zone and worked hard for it. Not only that, I did a sub 19 park run, 18 minutes 56, and super happy with that. I don't think I'll ever do that again. There was a one-of-a-kind run for me, really. And again, it just goes to show that hard work can pay off, belief. And the downside to doing all of that is I wasn't lifting as much and I was running more, so I was obviously keeping weight off, and I started to lose a bit of muscle mass. And as we head into autumn, winter now, I just want to get back to lifting, because I like the way I was looking before with, you know, a bit more definition muscle wise. So that's what I'm going to do, and I believe that with some more hard work, that's something I can work on and hopefully get myself into a better place again, like I was looking earlier this year, really, because yeah, I believe I can do that. So if there's one thing I can say to you, it's just believe and you can achieve. And you know, there is a lot more to me than somebody who just plays video games. I like running, I like weightlifting, I have a family, I'm a father, a husband, and I enjoy a lot of things outside of video game collecting. And yeah, I hope you guys can see that there is more to me than that. And yeah, I always try and get involved with you guys in the comments. If I've ever ignored anyone, it's not on purpose, it's totally by accident. I do try and engage with my viewers. I appreciate you watching, and yeah, I hope to motivate and inspire some of you to be the best versions of yourself and get collections that you're happy with, or just to bring happiness through looking at mine if you don't have means to have your own. If you just enjoy watching other people, then yeah, welcome to the channel and enjoy looking at what I've amassed. Because sometimes it's not always about playing the games, it's just having a good look at them. So yeah, let's get you on the tripod then and get into some pickups. Right then guys, that was a good workout. Without further ado, let's get into some of the pickups for this last week then. First of all, Crisis 2. Now, I already had this one. It came in the bundle from Dan, the massive bundle, but it was French. I knew that an English version existed. To my knowledge, it doesn't for Crisis 3, hence why it's greened off on the sheet. But this is very English, and it's Crisis 2. And yeah, delighted to green off one of those that were ticked off, but I knew that English version existed. So on my journey to endeavour to get all English where they exist, this is one of those ticked off now. I'm going to finally put it to bed, put it behind me. I've got a spare French one for sale. It is listed on my Vinted, and yes, this cost about £12.60 I believe on Vinted as well, from Retro Ghetto, not the Retro Ghetto by the way, somebody who's choosing to use the same name by accident they claim. But yeah, delighted to tick one off all the same, and it's one less to worry about now in terms of being in the wrong language. I never really played this game before, but it looks like a little bit of a shooter. So yeah, it's not one that I'll get round to playing anytime soon with it being sealed and so on, but there's so many games on this Hits and Essentials journey that I'm really looking forward to playing and having a dabble on. So it's not like I'm lacking any choice at the moment, so that can stay sealed, and yeah, just goes into the collection as one ticked off and sealed. Next up, we got Battlefield Hardline. This seems to be a tricky one to come by. Again, I had a German copy in the bundle. I don't blame Dan at all for getting these Battlefield games in foreign language, because they're really, really difficult to find, really. I guess because a lot of these sort of games, Call of Duties, which aren't in the Essentials, FIFAs they're sort of harder to come by, and Battlefields, they're the sort of games that sell well on day one. So by the time an Essentials version comes out, it's normally later on in the year, for example, I only imagine, and therefore nobody wants to buy a FIFA with only a couple of months before the new one's out. So they probably didn't sell very well, hence they're hard to find. And it's the same for Battlefield, I expect. It's just that they came out a lot later than the day one edition, and most people who want Battlefield have already got it at that point, so they didn't sell as well in this edition. But yeah, fully complete and English, and this was £9.91. I took a risk. I bought it off one of the eBay channels that don't provide photos, one of the power sellers. It was listed as Essentials. I took a stab in the dark that it would be English and that it would be complete with the right disc. £9.91, and to my delight, it has come complete English and fully complete. And I have sold the German copy on Vinted just yesterday for £10 plus post and fee, so I've got my money back for this at least. And I did pay a little bit more for the German version, but that cost is just transferred to effectively what this cost me. So I paid a little bit more for the German version. I think it was £13.50 in the bundle with the discount. So essentially that's what this owes me now, and the £10 that I sold the German version for on a slight loss is essentially covering what this costs. So basically this cost me £13.50, which I'm fine with. It's a hard game to find, so happy with that. And another one ticked off that was orange on the spreadsheet, so yet another one now obtained in English, and ever diminishing that list of games that I needed to get English versions of where possible. And it was very much known that English versions for these two games at least did exist, so really pleased with that. Now we get on to the deal from Slovakia. So I used a third-party courier service that basically you send the links to the items you want to buy. They select somebody in the host country to oversee the deal. They do the buying for you, wait for it all to come and send it off to you. They charge a fee for doing that per item. It's like a flat rate. The real killer with this sort of service is the postage. Like, I know international postage is not cheap, but there is little choice. They give you like two options, but they're both really expensive. There's no sort of cheap option. They always use DHL, which I'm happy with DHL. With the journey with FIFA 17, I can't praise DHL enough. Every time I've used this third-party service, and with the FIFA 17 they were great, but with the third-party service across Europe, I bought from Poland using the same service, and now Slovakia, both times it arrived next day. So that's incredible really, when you're talking quite far east into Europe and they've arrived within a day. That's perfect, but the total cost was about $75, $80. That's quite a lot, isn't it, for postage? I mean, you know, what you're talking 65, 70 quid. It's quite a lot. I mean, but like I said, I wouldn't want next day delivery. I'd be happy with it to take a week. So, I don't know. It's a bit annoying that you have to pay so much in postage. So what started off as a bargain turned out to be, you know, only an all right deal when it was an absolute bargain to start with. So let's go through them then. Brothers in Arms, Hell's Highway. This is English. So delighted. Super happy to have this in my collection. I did have it in the bundle from Dan. It's fully complete as well. But his version was German, I believe, or Dutch. It might have been Dutch. And that's now sold to a friend who is less fussy with languages. I sold that on to him for cost, what it cost me in the bundle. I didn't make anything on it, but at least I've got it gone and it doesn't owe me anything. And yeah, this only cost €5 to buy in Slovakia, cheap as chips, but that high postage cost gets split across the 4 games that I've purchased, so it ends up going from being an absolute steal, bargain, to being, you know, a little bit more expensive. Now, let's just say I attributed £20 of the delivery cost to Brothers in Arms, plus the €5 it cost me, plus the charges and so on. Let's just say it cost me £30. Now, on the surface, that seems like a lot, but you're just not going to find this game in CX for the low price that it costs. it's one that you don't see very often. I don't know if it even released in the UK, whether you have to import it in English. I don't know. It's just very hard to come by. So I'm happy with the 25, 30 pounds, whatever this has cost me, because there's only one on eBay, and it's just some scalper seller trying to sell it for like 80 quid, 79.99. I think they said they'd take 50. So, you know, even if you're going to be fussy and you want English and you get them down to 50, that's a lot of money. I've got it for 30. So I feel like I've got a good deal. Yes, you could find it for cheaper. Yes, I could have just kept the foreign one, but the foreign one owed me 25 quid anyway. So I've only paid a little bit more. And now I've got the peace of mind of it being English. And that's another one, yet another orange one, now greened off on my sheet, and another English one to go in my collection and to forget about and be happy with. And yeah, on this journey to try and get English where possible, really happy to have that one ticked off, because it's not an easy one to come by. Go and have a look on eBay, look on Vinted, go and have a look, see if you can find me an English one of those. I bet you can't, so other than that one that's 80 quid. Next up, Viking Battle for Asgard. This was an absolute steal. It was like €5 or €6 as well, honestly. Brand new and sealed, and of course English. This is just one you can't see either. Have a look on eBay and try and find me one of these. I think you'll have a hard time of doing it. Anyone who's on this Essentials journey will know they'll either still be looking for it, or they'll have it and they probably had to import it, or if they didn't, they probably had a hard job of finding it. And if they did get lucky and find it in CEX or something like that, then more power to you, because that's not for everyone. Not everyone is going to just rock up at CEX and find this. It's a really difficult one to obtain. And yeah, it looks quite an interesting one. So I'll put a bit of footage on overlay of the game. The gods will have a warrior. Mankind will have a hero. He will have his revenge. Brutal, limb-severing combat moves. Epic battles in a free-roaming world. Hel, goddess of death, orders her merciless army of undead soldiers to enslave mankind and destroy Asgard, the realm of the gods. As Skarin, last hope of the Vikings, control every vicious blow of your sword and axe and drench the battlefield with blood on your foes. Yeah, sounds interesting. I think it was an early release on the PlayStation, because I'm sure I've seen it in the old style PS3 cases. Any of you PS3 experts, let me know. It's rated 18, so I imagine it's quite graphic. And yeah, probably one that I would like to play, but I don't really want to unseal it. I feel like it's going to hold more value if it's sealed. And again, it's a game that cost me the best part of €5 to €10 all in all with the fees. But unfortunately, with the high postage, you're probably looking at nearer £35, £40 for this one, really. And I still think that's a cracking price. It's just sad that it's gone from being an absolute steal to something you can, really laugh about, to something that's just okay. But given it's one that you don't see very often, I'm more than happy to pay that. These games are only going to go up in value due to the scarcity. More people start collecting them. The price is just going to go up in value on the ones that are really hard to obtain, or ones where you have to import them because you just can't find them out and about in the UK. So yeah, delighted to tick another one off. Next up, I got Darksiders sealed, but what intrigued me about this one is it's completely English on the back. Now the one I had was, it had English, Italian and Dutch on, or like multiple languages. Now in the N64 world, that's what you'd class as like a European version, and UKV English only versions exist. So it just piqued my interest. The same seller who had Viking and the other game that I'm about to show you, they also had this sealed. So I just thought I might as well add it to the bundle. Again, it was less than €10, so it just made sense to buy this as well and have it in the same package. And yeah, really pleased to have a brand new and sealed copy. The extra postage cost, it's a little bit more, probably in the £20, £25 region. Not ideal, but it's still pretty good value overall to have an English version. You don't see many that are English only around, so really happy to add that one into the collection as well. And obviously it's fully English, so it wasn't one that had been targeted on my sheet as orange that I need to replace, but nonetheless it is fully English now, and yeah, super happy to add that one into the collection. Last of all, Resident Evil 5. I already had this. I had a English version of it already, but this one's brand new and sealed, official PS3 seal, and I kind of bought this initially with the thought of just reselling it and trying to make some of the money back of the postage to so kind of offset my cost and make what arrived cheaper. But in the end, I just decided to sell my open copy for a little bit more than what it owes me, and then in the end yeah, and take that profit off what this owes me to make this a nice cheap version of the game that's brand new and sealed. Yeah, it's not an easy game to find in the UK anyway, so to have a brand new official PS3 sealed version, yeah, happy with that. But yeah, nice to have a sort of rarer piece in the collection, if you like, in terms of a brand new sealed version of a game that you don't see in the Essentials range very often. So happy to add that one in. A little bit more expensive, I think. This might have been like 15 or 18 euros, plus the third-party carrier charges and then the postage cost added on. You're probably looking at about 40 quid for this, but it owes me less because I sold my open copy for a profit to what it owed me. So yeah, I've netted that off on my spreadsheet anyway. And yeah, happy to add another sealed one into the collection for one you don't see very often. So yeah, that's about going to do it for this video. We've made a nice little bit of progress on this Essentials journey. Ticked off some games that we didn't have at all, like Viking, that we needed completely. And then we've upgraded a couple that we wanted to get English versions of, Crisis 2, Battlefield, Hardline, and Brothers in Arms. So yeah, we've made a good bit of progress. We've helped some people out along the way, selling them the spares and so on. So, you know, I'm pleased to help you guys out wherever I can. I will just add that the reason why I had to use a third-party shipping service is because, unfortunately, my friends in Europe, like in Germany and Belgium, they can't buy from Slovakia. It seems to be a restricted country for you to buy on Vinted from. It's the same for Poland and Czech Republic and Romania, but those countries make sense because they're not in the Eurozone. They have their own currency. The Romania, Poland and the Czech Republic have their own currency, so it kind of makes sense that you can't do cross-border transactions on Vinted for those countries. Slovakia doesn't make sense, so they're in the EU, they use the euro, so I don't understand why you can't buy from Slovakia, whereas anywhere else in Europe you can buy from all the other EU countries. Kind of don't make sense to me, which is a shame really, because Slovakia is happy hunting ground, but you got to be prepared to pay quite extortionate shipping charges if you're using a third-party carrier. So that's just the downside to when you're doing things like this. So it makes sense to try and buy a couple of games at least, you know, try and get a little handful to try and make it a little bit more economical to justify the outlay. Yeah, that's about going to do it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please whack a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out, helps me grow, pushes me into the algorithm and all that good stuff. Drop a comment, let me know what you think about any of the games, any of the games you've seen, which ones are the good ones, which ones are the bad ones. What do you think about this journey? How do you think I'm getting on? How are you getting on? Are you on the journey? Drop a comment, get involved, light up the comment section and get stuck in. If you're new to the channel or a returning viewer and you're not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. Come along for the journey, come along and support me. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers now, so I could really do that push. Come along and see if I can complete the full PAL PS3 Essentials library, English where possible. Same for the PS4 hits. And can I complete and review all 239 UK PAL N64 games? I do apologise, I do mean to get the Yoshi Story episode out. My family have been unwell on the back of me being unwell last week. I've been putting out fires and trying to look after my family this last week, so I haven't had time to do the Yoshi Story episode, but hopefully we can do that and drop that for next Thursday. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you on the next one. Not going for a full set or anything like that, this isn't Retro Ghetto. Just want to add like a decent amount really.